This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to We'll Run For. This is your host, Tom, and with me, as always, are Aaron.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hi.
I feel like it's been a very busy week for all of us.
Yes.
Energy level is pretty low. We're usually pretty laughing and amped up at this point, right? I don't know. It's just like that bleh. Coming back from vacation, having to try and get back into the groove of life and all that. It's just like bleh.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real. As of when we're recording this, they released the themes for Dopey, and they look amazing, but getting up 2 days in a row at that time was really, really tough for me. And I was the one that's like, well, that's the easiest part for me because I never sleep.
Not the easiest
Oh,
part.
my God, that was rough. So I'm going
See,
to...
and I thought we did better than usual because we went to bed like super early every single night.
We did.
I was fine. I felt like that was unusual. Yeah.
I think for the actual races, we were fine, and we'll get into this because that's what we're talking about. But like, it really hits you later in the day. Like if you just keep going, it definitely hits you.
It really hit us now. Like the last 2 nights, I looked at Tom at 9 p.m. and I was like, we have to go to bed. I was like, I cannot be up any later than right now. Like,
this is it.
This is it.
The
This
end.
is all I've got. Like, I'm like falling asleep. And that's never the case with us. Like, we're always at least up until 10 or 11.
Yeah, we got back and had house stuff.
Yeah,
We were bombarded with house stuff all weekend.
Oh, no.
Yeah, while we were actually down there.
Like every minute was
like,
a different
it's like
catastrophe, as is usual with closing on a house.
it's fine.
Especially
but
when
I
you're
agree.
buying like a ghost house in the middle of
apparently
what?
no one wants to insure a house that was built in 1860, guys. So if you ever want to buy a historic house,
Think about
maybe
it.
do it, but just know that it's hard to get a lot of stuff done
And full of ghosts.
Yeah, and it's full of ghosts, according to Diana. I don't know. Yeah, I feel the same. Like we just like the other night, I got it was like 9 something, and Connor wanted food, and I got really
Oh
cranky.
my God,
and
you
was like,
bit his head off.
I was like,
I swear.
"Rah." It's 9:00 at night. I'm going to bed.
He was
I'm
like,
so tired.
Like, what? So what
So
happened?
tired.
Oh
I
my
just can't.
God. Well, it's Friday afternoon. It's Rex Manning Day.
Nice.
It is.
And
It is.
Sexy Rexy.
Sexy Rexy.
Beautiful
And I'm
out,
drinking a
too.
beer, so I'll take
I
it.
feel like Michael has no clue what we're talking about.
No, I don't. Isn't he the guy from Greece too?
Oh my God.
No,
Yes.
but that is
100%. Yes, he is.
Is it?
It's the same guy,
Same
right?
guy.
Yeah.
But do you
Michael
know- but
something
Wait.
or other.
Yeah, but do you?
Wait, you're telling me Rex Manning from
I was going to say Michael has no idea.
Empire
There you
Records
go. There you go.
is
He
the
does
same
know. Okay,
actor
okay.
that plays the main guy
In Greece, too.
in Grease
Grease
2?
too.
Grease too.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
What? They
You
look
didn't know that?
I had no idea.
They
First
look
of all,
identical.
nobody knows that person.
Yeah, I mean, he looks
And he
exactly
looks exactly
the same.
the
It's only a
same.
few years later.
Yeah.
He does
It's
look
not that-
exactly the same.
I saw Grease 2 at a drive-in.
Oh my God. My friend Lisa thinks Grease 2 is better than Grease 1.
That's a hot
That's
take.
insane.
That's a hot
Every
take.
time-
That's a hot take. We've talked about it
It's
a lot.
fun. Grease 2
Okay.
is fun.
It's ridiculous.
Very fun and ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I like the
That's the
reproduction
word for
song.
it.
That
Oh
one
my
I
God,
like.
reproduction's amazing. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's,
And they
that's
pretend
the
to be
word for it.
sperm in the classroom, and then the girls make their arms
Oh my
holes,
God.
and then they put the sperm in the hole.
Yes.
This is a
Oh
real
my
thing
God.
that happens. If you
Yes.
haven't seen it, find it somewhere and watch Grease 2.
First of all,
I
if
may
you
have
haven't
se- I-
seen Grease 2, unsubscribe.
Well, I mean, it was like 40 years ago. When did Grease 2 come out? 82, 85, something
It
like
was
that.
like Michelle Pfeiffer's
Well,
first thing that she ever did.
Anyway, I'm drinking out of my Orange Bird mug that I got
Oh, I love
because
my
I'm
Orange
drinking
Bird.
coffee. I saw that many people that I know got this same mug while we were down there. And then I got another mug, and Michael did not suggest that I have to throw away 2 mugs. And I was,
Yay.
he's given up in his quest for.
You can't fight. You fight
for getting rid of mugs.
Fight the fights you can win. You don't fight a losing battle.
I would notice. Was that
was,
were you going for a running on tap?
That was a little homage to them. If Kyle's listening or Jacqueline's listening, that was an homage to them.
So running on tap
as he's opening
during their
beer.
hiatus. That was a little beer opening. For them.
I'm just drinking coffee. Michael picked a beer.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's
I
Friday.
drink beer right now. I will fall asleep. I will drink a beer when I'm done with this coffee.
Miserable.
Well, you can't fall asleep. We got to watch our Something Good.
Oh, gosh.
We'll talk about it later.
Oh, God.
It's amazing.
Well, I have to drink this beer so I fall asleep because we have a freaking 10K in the morning.
Oh, really?
Soul of the City. And
Soul of the City.
That's like your favorite
it's
one.
like my favorite race. You know why? Because it's always warm. And you know what it's not going to be tomorrow? Warm.
Yep.
Oh.
They've
it's
screwed
going to
me.
be rainy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's like my favorite run of the year.
So there's that.
Did you sign up for the 25K first state yet, Tom?
I have not.
Or 10K.
Or 10K? 10K. That's what I meant for Tom.
Hasn't happened yet.
Okay. I sent you the link.
It's just south of Reading in Wilmington.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
I hate everyone.
Wilmington, Reading, Pennsylvania.
Oh man.
Michael, do we have any 5-star reviews?
Oh my God. What a transition.
Look at that. We do have a 5-star review from EOKeef1, which I believe is EchoFit, right? Is it
yes.
that person?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is such a great running podcast. The stories are relatable no matter what your running level is. The hosts are so funny and it inspires me to run more. Thank you for putting together a great podcast. Now, here's the problem. I wish I was inspired to run more at this point because I haven't run enough recently. And it was beautiful out today and I was going to run and now I'm sick. But anyway, thank you everyone for the 5-star reviews and, reviews in general and for all the sharing of the show. It goes a long way. Appreciate it.
Yes. Very much appreciate it.
You did the run for that during whatchamacallit, right?
I dedicated the 5K. I'm sorry, the 10K.
I was like, you didn't run the 5K.
I did not. I dedicated the 10K.
I dedicated the 5K. I didn't run to that.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
All right. So what are we running for this week? I'll start.
Oh, God.
And we'll get into
that was aggressive.
We'll get into this.
That was
I'm sorry.
aggressive.
I'm trying to be more direct. I'm trying to be more direct.
All of a sudden, we're all quiet, and Tom's the aggressive one on mic.
Well, you know me when I blow things up on social media. No, and I it's a little bit of a joke. I put the price of fame as my thing that I'm running for, and we'll touch on this a little bit. But when we were at Springtime Surprise, there were at least 3 different times when somebody who was near us, not a part of the group that we were in, recognized either mine or Diana's voice. And I don't know if it happened to either of you, but they were like, "Excuse me, we listened to your podcast and we recognized your voice."
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It happened to us on the bus, like at our resort. Someone was like,
was
like, "We're registered for your virtually live race," and we're like, "What?"
and you know me, I'm the most humble person in the world, which is not true.
I'm so humble. I'm so humble.
But I can't tell you how good that makes me feel.
I like to brag about how humble I am. I like to brag about how humble.
I had kind of an opposite thing happen.
Oh my God! Oh my God! This is so funny. This is
it was somebody.
I got texted multiple times about this.
Yeah, so it was somebody I actually already know, who I walked up to and said hi to at the finish line, and they looked at me like I was a serial killer.
Well,
coming to talk to them.
Well, to be fair, you shaved your beard.
I literally shaved like 2 days, before, so nobody knew.
So he's always had the beard.
Yes,
and so like.
Well, I shave every spring.
Yes.
But nobody knows that, obviously, who doesn't.
You shave every spring.
Yeah, I don't know why. He shaves during the summer. he shaves during the summer, spring and summer.
Yes.
Every few weeks to like clear off his beard so he doesn't get like weird sweat
weird
tan or
weird
tan lines on his face because he works outside and blah blah blah.
And we're outside running a lot and all that. Yeah.
Anyway, so poor Megan, second star Megan, who will be on our next Inside the Runner studio.
Yes,
she's so great.
She texted me and she's like, I just saw Michael and I had no idea who he was.
Her face when I walked up to her, and then she was talking to somebody. I was like, "Hey," and she's like looking at me like, "Hey."
It's awesome. It's funny because I saw her at the finish line and I ran through the finish line and she was screaming my name. She's like, Diana. And so I run over and the first thing she says to me, not how was your race? Congratulations, blah, 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 blah. It was, oh my God, I just had the most awkward encounter with Michael. And I died. I was laughing so hard.
Oh my God. It was amazing. But a big shout out to second star, Megan.
Oh my God. I was so glad I finally got to meet her. I was like, I squeezed the hell out of her. I was so happy.
Oh, yeah. Truly just a wonderful person.
You met girl without a tattoo.
Oh yeah.
On course.
Yep.
And then she was kind of behind you guys on the 10K course and she caught up with us. And so I got to see her and we took a picture with her out on the 10K course.
Yeah, we saw her.
Oh wait, let's reel this back in.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What?
We're going into the race.
No, we're going into the price of fame. I'm talking
about
the
price of fame. Yeah,
we're blowing it all out.
No, I'm just talking about the people we saw.
Okay.
No, that was awesome. Yeah, she was behind us in line for some character stop. And she goes, hey, I know that voice. Are you Diana? And I
was
like, what?
Amazing.
Probably because I was screaming. Not surprisingly.
And then Diana had another one at the 5K where we're getting in line for Tree of Life and you just hear, Diana!
I didn't think it was for me.
And she didn't hear it, or she didn't think it was for her. And I was like, I'm pretty sure someone's screaming your name. Like 5 of us are like telling Diana someone's screaming her name.
Literally everyone I know is right here. Like they can't be.
And it was my friend Linda.
Yeah.
She saw Diana first, so she yelled her name. And then she, like, when I waved at her, she was like, oh, I didn't realize you guys were all together. And she came running over. Like they took their picture. We were still in line and she came out over and said hi to all of us.
Fun.
So that was fun.
That was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a few.
Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We're probably missing one or two.
We'll come across.
Yeah, if you ever want to find me stunned and without words, come up to me unannounced where I don't know who you are, and then I just am in shock for like 2 minutes. So that's how you get me quiet. Oh goodness. Let's see. What else are we running for? I am running for Harry Styles put out a new single today. So I'll be running to that tomorrow and from now until forever.
Is that going to be on repeat? Is that all you're going to you're just going to repeat it over and over and over?
I was walking the dog at lunch and I listened to it like 3 times in a row. So yes, I just can't wait. I love it. So great.
Very nice.
I guess I'm running for sanity with this house closing and just everything else that we have going on at the moment. It's like I need to get out and run some to not go insane.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get back out tomorrow when I feel a little better. Just today was not the day. And it sucks because I'm looking out the window and it's like absolutely perfect out. Would have been a perfect evening for a run.
I'm still not really running, so I guess I'm running to start running again. Does that make sense? I don't know. I've just been doing like these race to race each weekend and nothing in between because I'm just trying to survive the races.
Yeah.
But now we don't really have anything else on the schedule until we signed up for the first state 25K
in May.
So I have like a little bit of time to get feeling better about actually doing that race and not just doing it and walking it and hiking it. I'm hoping that I can like get a little run walk going over the next few weeks to kind of get some consistency back and see how I'm feeling. I am almost afraid to say it out loud. I typed it today, but my leg hasn't been terrible. I actually have woken up every day and waited for like the pain that shoots up my leg every morning, and it hasn't been there in like a week and a half.
That's awesome.
So progress. My hip bothered me a little bit this weekend when we were on a lot of those pitches. There was some like on and off ramps that had some really terrible pitches.
Yeah.
And so it started bothering me a little then, but I think that went away relatively quickly compared to like how it's been. So
yeah,
knock on wood, I feel like might be turning a corner where I can start running a little bit more consistently again.
So would you say that staying healthy is a goal of yours, Erin?
It is a goal of mine. And just like that's my goal, we have tons of listeners that have their own goals.
And now, it's time for our Will Run 4 Goal Getters. Congrats on making your goals, you getters. Oh, you runs the shit.
Oh my gosh, we have so many goals. So many goals. All right, so Adventures to Paradise Fall said springtime surprise. First ever challenge, and the goal was still to be standing at the end. Ended the weekend not too sore and feeling the benefits of training. Oh, wow, training actually works. Good reminder to trust the process. It works and is giving me hope for my June marathon. You can do it.
There you go.
Yeah, we didn't get to see her, but I saw her pictures and we somewhat chatted. She's thinking about signing up for Dopey.
Oh, yay.
We have Laura Duxon upping the step goal, 500 a week since the birth of her son, and she's at 7,500 now, doing a 5K for the virtually live race.
Yay.
She's not sure if she's walking or running yet, but she starts running next week.
Awesome.
We have Michelle K, crazy runner Michelle. Boston to Big Sur coming up the next couple weeks and getting her 6th star on the World Marathon Majors.
How far apart are Boston and Big Sur?
A week.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Michelle!
Yeah, it's literally like a challenge that they have. For, like when you sign up for Big Sur, there's like a specific challenge called Boston to Big Sur.
It's actually slightly less than a week because it's Monday, Sunday.
It's Monday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, we won't be at Big Sur this year,
we
Michelle.
had to cancel Big Sur this year, unfortunately.
Perfectly imperfect Maria. Hi, Maria. So Maria says, clean up my diet. Been emotionally eating since after marathon weekend. Same girl, same. And she wants to get on track so she doesn't die during her second round of Dopey training.
Did I hear that right?
Right. Yes,
Second
I know.
round.
Right. Yeah.
She's also in the cult, and she's hitting her 100 Peloton rides this month. Hopefully 100 runs and 100 walks. Maria, hit me up if you're going to do your century ride. I would love to ride with you.
Yay! All right. RunDisney completed Springtime Surprise Challenge and survived the humidity.
Oh, it was so humid those first 2 days.
The 10K
wasn't it?
was miserable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel like the 10 mile was like sneakily humid, like where like you're like, oh, this isn't too bad, and then you start running and you're like, oh no, it's humid.
Well, it was sneaky because it was less humid than the other days,
Yeah.
but the other days were like 98% humid.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fun size Jen Hall says, find a new career opportunity so I can have some of my life back and focus on improving my running and myself.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I know she's been looking for a job for a little while.
Yeah.
Figuring out what she wants to do next. So good luck, Jen.
Mal runs Disney, who I saw at the finish line.
I
finishing
saw her
the 10-miler.
a few times over the weekend. I was so excited.
Yeah. Goals to get back on track. Lots of illness in March made it impossible to do my training in April. So in April, I'm focusing on strength, cross training, stretching, and my long runs. Plus, hoping for a 2 hour. Wow, you don't say the H in hour, by the way. 2 hour half at the end of April.
Oh my
She can
gosh,
do
that is sick Disney brain. Oh, speaking of Mal, she got a stomach virus.
Yeah.
And could not do the 10K.
Yeah, that's right.
Poor
Oh my
thing.
God,
Yeah,
poor Mal.
yeah.
And then she didn't eat for like 48 hours, and then still somehow ran the 10 miler
I'm
in like
super
an amazing
impressed.
time.
Yeah, she looked good at the end. I saw her finishing.
And I
actually.
saw her in line
gosh.
for characters and stuff, so she was like still enjoying the race. So
Yeah.
All right. Beach Runner 78, our friend Megan. She finished the Tower of Terror 10 miler pain free and got to see so many friends. She's looking forward to getting back into consistent training, into a consistent training plan to get ready for Dopey 2023. That's another one.
And I did yell at her because she looked too cute and that she was putting everyone to shame when we were at our monorail bar crawl. And Jessica Garand had a great fun run at the Disney 10K, felt good during the race, and met some awesome runners on course. Next goal is to get into Dopey 2023 and begin strength training for my Dopey training. Whoop! We're going to have a huge group.
I got to see her for a hot second the morning of the 10K. I felt bad because I feel like it was chaos. Mm-hmm. And so I said I was sorry. I barely got to talk to her.
I barely got to talk to anyone. I feel like it's awful.
Yeah. Dawn B. Joyful says she managed to do the Tower of Terror 10 miler at home, even though she preferred to be at Disney. Yeah. We would have preferred to be there too.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Karate, he doesn't want to ever feel as sick as he did after his first marathon. So he wants to finish Boston feeling relatively good. Run a BQ with a cushion so he doesn't have to train and run a fall marathon. Run a PR, even if it's a second faster.
Oh my God.
With minor injuries and weather always being a factor, who knows if it'll happen, but he's run the miles, worked on nutrition and fueling, and the rest is out of his hands. So he's ready to go.
Puts in the work.
Good luck.
He does.
Karate.
Yeah, good luck.
We'll be rooting for you that day.
Hopefully it's a perfect weather day and he just crushes it.
Yeah.
All right. Lisa Knits and Trains. I went to Disney for Springtime Surprise, and I didn't get sick.
That's a victory.
That's a victory because it's misery right now.
Yeah. The Disney crud is real. Michael knows all too well right now.
Yes.
All right. Briz Kathy. After my goal of running a few half marathons in winter of training for Eastern States 20 miler on March 27th, I'm happy to be running without a plan. Just the relief. Looking forward to a week in the Florida Keys in a couple of weeks, and the goal is to drink lots of margaritas and relax. Kathy, you deserve it.
Amen.
Yes,
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Get it.
All right, we have Kate, who says that she's happy that she completed the 10K and the 10 miler at Disney this past weekend. At this point, just looking to keep up my running with my run training, gain some speed, and cheer on the crew as they begin their dive into Dopey training.
Cool. This was her first RunDisney event.
Yes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When you told me that.
Yeah, so
wow.
She was super excited. She was supposed to do Paris with us and then couldn't come. But I'm super proud of her. And she's actually really motivated. She was texting us. She's like, when does Dopey training start? And she's not coming. But she was like, I want to just join for some of the runs. So she's motivated.
Cool.
So I love it.
Amen.
Awesome.
Thanks, Kate.
Melissa Logan 83 PR'd her half marathon this past weekend. That's awesome.
All right, our friend Echo Fit. She has 2. I want to be able to run a half marathon without walk intervals. I guess run-walk intervals. And I want to get my half marathon under 2 hours and 30 minutes.
One kidney runner, Ben, completed my March and April marathons in a quest to run a marathon every month. Oh my God, you marathoners. I did a running challenge where I ran 4.4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours for a total of 53 miles. Oh my God. And then I did that on March 31st and April 1st so that they would count for my March and April runs.
That's smart.
So
That's
he
smart.
basically did Goggins and then added the 0.4 to each run to make sure he got to 53.
So he had the marathon.
So that he had the
day.
marathons for each day.
Oh,
That's
my God.
I saw that he had done 4.4 and I was wondering why when he posted it on his Instagram, and now that totally makes sense.
Total sense, yep.
Totally get it. All right. Tim says, body has been tired, so sleeping through the alarm. I feel that. Missing my pool and morning workouts. Goal is to commit to getting back out of bed and moving. I have that same goal, Tim.
Steve Moss, I feel like the opposite of a goal-getter right now, not showing up for the OBX Flying Pirate race in a couple weeks. Signed up for this race in 2020. Things happened. And this year, my daughter has a dance obligation on the same day. The half I ran in February was an S show. Ran a fun 5K at my church last weekend. Felt good, hoping to be ready for my 2 fall half marathons. And by hope, I mean, trying to make sure I'm actually going to buckle down and train.
Oof.
Yes.
Yes.
Training.
It's rough.
Training is a goal.
It's rough.
Mhm.
All right, I run for margaritas. PR in the 10-mile distance. Also, my first 10-mile distance, so it still counts.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely counts.
Yes.
And then Run Eat Drink podcast. We made it halfway through our 75 hard challenge.
Yep. You're going through it again.
Oh my god.
Wow. That's commitment. Main Street Miles Meg says she signed up for Weight Watchers on March 21st and has tracked her points every single day. She's down 2 pounds.
Yes.
Great job.
Good for
Awesome.
you. Very much.
Brooke Schambach, first real DNS due to illness, back issues, but reminded myself it means I did nothing stupid. Goal is to stay healthy for her summer trail races she has lined up and keep stretching, keep training, and enjoy the process. Peloton alert. Second goal is to complete Tons Arm Challenge, where the 3-pound weights feel like 300.
It's Toon Day.
Toon Day? Is that what it
Oh
is?
my
Day.
god, I'm doing that arm challenge and I took a break for 2
Oh.
weeks, like for the race weekend. I wish I would have started measuring before I started to do it. It's unbelievable. It's super hard.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's the one that you're doing with Kate?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Oh,
super
wow.
hard. Yep.
All right, Runcation Dreaming. I actually got up the guts to run with a run group for the first time ever, and
Whoop.
it was awesome.
Yay.
There you go.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
That is really cool.
That's awesome. Julie Bean runs. Finally got over my 3-mile hump with a 4 last weekend and a 5 planned for this weekend. You can do
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
it. Little by little. Just add little by little.
That's it. Just a little here, a little there.
Jennifer Lamprune says that Jen Cook and I have marathon scheduled for May 1st in Providence. Ran 20 miles 12 days ago at Eastern States and prep 7 days after having COVID. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Second 20-miler for her tomorrow with Jen. They've both been consistent in through the dark, cold, crappy weather days. Tom still owes us a poor weather 5-miler.
And y'all should move to a place that's warmer with sunlight.
he might get it tomorrow if this
Yeah, that's true.
This run is in the rain.
It's supposed to be pretty dreary.
Looking forward to tomorrow's success and Providence's finish line.
There you go. Jack Witzig, who's been cranking out some big miles. Got my goal of surviving last weekend's People's Park Ultra, which is down here in South Jersey. It's a backyard style race where each participant runs a 4-mile loop at the top of every hour for 10 hours. Next up is the Dirty German in May, which is in Northeast Philly. And it's his first 50-miler. That was actually my first 50-miler, too.
Nice.
Wait, you said Northeast Philly. Is that Reading, Pennsylvania?
Just south of Reading.
Okay. I'm not familiar
Just
with
southeast.
Pennsylvania
Just
geography.
southeast of Reading.
Okay.
Not even close to just south of. You guys are all. I hate you all. I got one more as we were sitting here, so I'm just going to read it real quick. Kimberly says that she just got. Her goal is to just get started again. I put together an entire Dopey training schedule, and I've already skipped 100% of the workouts.
There you go.
It's still too
Wow.
early to start. You're starting too early.
You're pretty early on. It's okay.
We need to get
It's okay.
together an accountability team. You guys are incredible and motivating.
Oh, good.
Oh, man. That's funny.
gosh.
She skipped 100% of the workouts.
That's why I wanted to read that one, because it made me laugh. Tom, you've got a goal.
I do. I'm changing up my strategy on the bike because I was doing the bike every single day, no matter what, and some of those efforts were not great. They were like kind of junk throwaway efforts. Like I would just do like a 5-mile warm up. I'm sorry, 5-minute warm up, and like I'm not getting anything out of that. So I'm trying to, when I get on the bike, I'm trying to do stacks of multiple rides and really get a good workout in each one of them. More quality over quantity.
Excellent.
And to refute exactly what I just said, I'm at 132 rides right now. I want to be at 200 by the end of April, which means I have 68 more rides to do
Oh my
this
God.
month. So I'm going to be on the bike a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think it's bad when you just do just get your legs loose and do like a 5.
Yeah. All those
5-minute
things add
cooldown.
up
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
Like it
All
just
that
gets you
little
loose.
stuff.
Get you loose.
Oh my God.
It all adds up. All part of it.
that's my goal.
Awesome.
Thank you all for your goal getters. This is probably one of the biggest list of goal getters we've had.
That was huge this week. Yeah.
And we support each and every one of you. But let's
that'd be those all those spring races that hit and all, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's about to get real busy because everyone's racing again. I'm excited, and everyone I'm thinking will be getting some like strength training and hydration and all those type of goals as well coming up with people starting Dopey training and with just like summer training for those like fall PRs. I think a lot of that's going to be coming down the line. So excited to see what everyone's up to and accountability and all that fun stuff. So, love it.
Quick thing on the virtually live race. We have about 30 spots left for the swag. But to clarify, you can run along with the virtually live race even if you don't sign up
100%.
The stuff. Like just join us that day.
It's true.
Hop in. It's
just if you would like a medallion, which we have featured a few times.
Yeah, we have the medallion.
Sunflower with the wooden medallion, the stickers that Michael got in.
I got one on my phone now.
We got the cups, the No Schlubs Run Club.
Yeah, they're the small race cups you would use. Yeah.
And what else did we get?
A custom bib.
Oh, that's right.
Like a real race bib.
Custom bib.
If it's big, I'm like I told Tim, if it's big, I'm going to rant against it. By the way.
I tried to make them small. We'll see what happens.
If our own race bib is big, I'm going to rant against it, by the way.
But so if you'd like all the swag, go ahead and sign up. We have 30 medals available.
About 30, at this point.
A little bit more than 30, but around that left.
We give a countdown every so often.
Yeah. Yep. Please come sign up, join us.
And
That'll be fun.
I'm usually obnoxious about looking how many people have signed up, but I kind of didn't pay attention last weekend because we were at the Springtime Surprise Weekend.
Were we?
Yeah.
Is that where we were?
That's where we were.
Yay!
Party.
We were excited. This was the first RunDisney event we've been to since Wine and Dine in 2019, right before the pandemic.
Wow.
Yep.
So we've been to Disney, but just not RunDisney.
Not there. So it was like a year ago you went and did Wine and Dine.
That's what it feels like.
A year ago. It's weird that it does feel like 2019 was a year ago, even though, yeah. It's very strange.
Also, I had a moment today, just side note, I was pouring my creamer and it said it was good until October 2022. And in my brain, that was last October. And I thought I was drinking spoiled creamer and had like a meltdown about it and then realized the actual math of the date. So that's the mental state I'm in since getting back from Disney.
Yep, exactly.
I was like, I'm going to die. I've been drinking expired creamer for a month.
Oh my God. So speaking of expiration dates, at our work fridge, somebody just threw out ketchup that had a 2004 expiration date.
Wow. Who are you, me?
God.
No idea.
I walked in and somebody's like, "We gotta throw this out." I'm like, "What is it?" Ketchup. Like it's been around a while. He's like, the expiration date is 2004. I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
All right, let's go.
There are people old enough to vote.
That's true.
I was like,
born when that ketchup expired.
I was at a high school for 2 years when that thing expired. Oh God. All right, Springtime Surprise weekend.
Surprise. So
so you can tell we're all a little punch drunk.
Yeah. Which is weird because and I guess people have referred to this as it before, but like this was the end of the RunDisney run season, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So we did Wine and Dine,
and
then Marathon Weekend, and then Princess, and now this. So pretty much one a month, or about 1.5 to 2 months at most. Wine and Dine and Marathon Weekend have the biggest space between them, I think. And so in like a 5-month span, you got the 4 races.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the first time we've run a race in May, I think, for Run Disney. Oh, no, that's a lie. I did Tinkerbell, which was Mother's Day weekend in Disneyland, but my first time running in Walt Disney World for like this time of year, like we've always done either November or May, because even Avengers was November. And Tom, you've never done anything in May. This is actually your first time being in Disney for like Flower and Garden and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome. Side question: when were the Star Wars runs?
This time,
the same time of year.
Same time.
Usually anywhere between the first week of like April through like the 20th-ish of April. So all these races kind of float around whenever Easter kind of falls and spring breaks are falling. This race weekend was the one that floats, because Wine and Dine is always the first weekend in November, because it's always the same weekend as New York City Marathon. The Disney Marathon weekend is always the first weekend after New Year's, and then the Princess weekend is always the last weekend in February. So this is like the weekend after President's Day. So this is the one that floats.
Okay. All right.
I think it's why like this Star Wars was always a little smaller. And I don't know whether that was why they changed the theme, because they thought it was like less popular. But I think it's just because it floats.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was because JJ ruined Star Wars.
All right. So okay, so let's hop through the events. We're all down there. We all had a great time, and let's start with the Expo.
I don't really have anything to report other than it was really annoying that they didn't do it on Wednesday, and they just had it open on Thursday. That was annoying. It was also really crowded in the morning, and then no one was there in the evening. So advice stays the same: go later in the day if you can.
Yeah, if you don't care about the merch.
The other thing I will say about the Expo is they had themed beer for this race, which was amazing. And they had it after all the runs, and I was really excited about that. They had like a bellhop beer.
The Tower of Terror bellhop.
Oh, so good. It was like
that was that lemon cherry.
That was that one.
Yep.
Oh, I get it now, because their things are yellow and red.
Yeah. And then they had something else that was like a cidery something.
Yeah, the pineapple cider.
Yeah,
it was super good.
I feel like that was almost like a medallion epiphany.
Yeah. Is that why everybody was wearing maroon and yellow all weekend?
Oh my gosh. Yep. I've never seen so much maroon and yellow at a race in my entire life.
A lot of maroon. I like the energy at the Expo. I mean, I like the energy of a big Expo. Michael, you may not, but
Michael wasn't there
people
with us when we ran into you. Michael was still in New Jersey.
Yeah, I was still waiting to fly down.
Yeah.
So
I had a lot of I don't know if you guys experienced this, but specifically for me, I had a lot of fans run up to me and scream that they were very surprised to see me and very happy. And I was trying to avoid the autographs, but you gotta do it for your fans.
We have a custom shirt coming out sometime soon that one of your fans came up with, and I will not reveal it at the moment. Yeah. But I'm 100% in the works of making her dreams come true.
I will also say that I am the least impressive person that I've ever met, and I really appreciate everybody that enjoys this podcast.
Yeah, we had Second Star Megan fangirl the crap out of you all weekend. And then for real though, Mal had texted me and was like, when are Denny and Tom going to be around? I want to meet them. So you truly had some fans that were excited to meet you.
I went to the Expo on Saturday.
Yeah.
So for me, it was pretty quiet. I went with Mark and Megan and Jay Hall.
Yeah.
In the afternoon of Saturday at like the last possible minute.
Oh yeah, when everyone's flights got all jacked up because all of Southwest went down.
Southwest went down.
And let me just back it up for a second, because I want Diana to talk about this. That morning was sunrise yoga.
Oh yeah.
And I know I know there's been a mixed reaction from like when it happened at, I guess, Princess Weekend, but you enjoyed it, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, let me give like a recap of Sunrise Yoga. I really liked it. Again, I do think it's weird that they did the expo after an actual event. So it was kind of weird, like logistically. And honestly, I'll be real. I did not read, as I usually don't, a lot of the communication that comes out. Like what I'm supposed to do, like what the situation will be. So this could have been communicated. And I just didn't know because I don't read. So basically, you have to get to the TTC, Ticket and Transportation Center at the Magic Kingdom. We got on one of the first buses. It may have been first or second bus for that. So we left the hotel. I think we were on the bus at exactly 3:30. You get to the TTC and you have to take a ferry over. When you got there, they had kind of everyone in line, almost like you were going in line to one of the parks. And then they were letting X amount of people through, I would say 30 people through at a time, and then staging them into small groups, like in front of the train station. So there were like 5 groups of these 30 people, and then a ton of people still standing outside. And then they would move those 5 groups from space to space to space to space inside by where the flagpole is. And then they would leave them up into the magic, or like up in front of the castle in the hub area, and say, this area right here, these are the mats that are for you guys. Take what you want. So that made sense. Like once you thought about it, like, oh, they can't just have everyone just walk in and do whatever the hell they want, because it would be madness. And we know how Princess Weekend is. There would just be, just like is fighting everywhere. Honestly, like that's the only, like I was like, if they didn't do it this way, it would be chaotic. So
yeah.
So I was kind of annoyed when like I got to the mat, because I was like, oh, we were thinking, oh, we're going to get there super early. We're going to lay on our mats. We're going to relax. We're going to be able to chit chat. But basically we got to our mats, and then like 15 minutes later it was starting. It started right on time. So it was like it was for Princess. I don't know what exactly they got for Princess, but we had the thin blue mat. That's fine, whatever. We did get a RunDisney bag to put the mat in, which I thought was nice. And then not a water bottle, a bottle of water. But
the half-size bottle of water?
Yeah, the half-size bottle of water. I don't know. You're doing yoga. I don't know how much water you need. So I don't know. I thought that was fine. I think people complain just to complain. But I guess if you were expecting something else, I don't know. Expectations are the key to everything. And because I already knew that's what I was going to get, like, no, I didn't care.
I agree with that. I think that the people going into Princess blindly thinking that they were going to get a RunDisney yoga mat.
And a water bottle.
Yeah. I think that because this time no one was expecting that, I feel like it wasn't as disappointing for the people who showed up.
Yeah.
But I can see like how if you were expecting that when you showed up at Princess, it would be like the expectation was different. Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't have expectations of all this stuff. And honestly, I think because everyone was complaining about the crappy yoga mat, which is fine, I never knew, like, I wasn't expecting to get that cool little bag to put a yoga mat in. They could have said they got it, but I wasn't expecting that. So I was like, oh, this is nice. So I don't know. Like I said, I didn't expect to get it. I got it, so I was happy. So anyway, I was kind of grumpy when I sat down just because of the logistics. And then the yoga starts. It was an hour. I hate yoga. So then I was also grumpy that I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to do just terrible yoga for an hour. But it was great, super relaxing. It was basically just a runner's stretch for an hour, which I thought was awesome. So it was great for all levels. And it was so funny when we finished, like, you know, you're kind of going through and you've got your eyes closed. And when it, you know, finished up, everyone kind of opened their eyes and we're just like, oh, that was really nice. And we all really liked it. So, and then we had nothing but positive things to say as we were leaving. And I said I would do this every single race weekend if it wasn't so expensive. The price, like Disney, the price point is too high. If this was $65 or $70, I might tack this on to every race. It's hard to tack on $100 to every race. To do it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great. It was so cool to be there in front of the castle. It was like super relaxing music. It was beautiful. They had fireworks. The Dapper Dans came out and sang a song no one recognized. That was confusing. I was like, of all things, but I had a really positive experience. But again, I think it's because I went in with really low expectations, and then I went in kind of grumpy because it took us from 3:30 a.m. to 5:15 for me to sit on a mat. So I was kind of grumpy there. And then I was like, just being there was good. And then reflectively thinking about like the logistics getting in. Honestly, I wish I would have like had someone explain to me the logistics beforehand. And then I would have been like, oh, this is why they're doing it. But I went in blindly, like I do most things, just flailing around.
All right. Well, so that was that morning. And then that night was the 5K.
Disney's transportation and ability to get into the parks that night was amazing.
Well, apparently, I did hear something about what the issue was, and it was because of those storms.
Well, how does that have to?
Because they did not want to start busing anybody anywhere. Because if they had a bunch of people in the Animal Kingdom parking lot and those storms moved south, they would have had no cover and nowhere to go.
It could be. I don't know.
Severe weather.
It could be, but they weren't even predicting that. If anything, they kept pushing the storms all day.
But you have to remember, they were right there. So they were concerned that if they did move in, they'd have people. They weren't sure until after like 8 o'clock, apparently, what was going to happen.
That doesn't excuse the parking situation.
No, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. I'm talking about the buses. Yeah.
I mean, it was tenfold because it was not only the bus situation, but like we left our not Art of Animation, All Star Music at like 8:30. It was a little before 8:30. It was like 8:25. There was a car full of us, and we did not get park in the parking lot until after 9:20. It's not. I mean, we entered the gate of Animal Kingdom at 8:37, and we did not park until like 9:20 something.
Yeah, because we left after you on the bus, so we were on, I think, like the third bus. So we were at Port Orleans, and we got to the bus stop at 8:30. Exactly 8:30, and there were a ton of people there, like just tons and tons of runners, and they actually filled up the first two buses, and then they left, and then we waited another 10 minutes, and we were able to get on a bus, and we got in a little bit of traffic on, now I can't even remember, whatever that road is right there by Animal Kingdom, like where the McDonald's is, and there was a slight traffic there, but the buses were going where the buses normally go, so they were driving past the main entrance. So as soon as it got past all the traffic jam with that, we were right in. So Erin left her hotel way earlier than we did, and we were basically in the parks.
They were standing in the corrals and everything before I got there.
Yeah.
I mean, the parking situation was an absolute nightmare.
Oh,
wow.
I heard that Boardwalk didn't get a bus until after 9 p.m.
That's
for their
insane.
like the very first bus.
I would have been having a meltdown.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to trash it too much, but it did make me paranoid, and I got on the first bus for every single other race we had that weekend.
Yeah, we always do that, so that's not unusual for us, but I know that's super unusual for you.
Yeah, I never on the first bus. So the fact that we were up that early and out the door by ready to be on a bus at 2:55 is like unheard of for me. Anyway, so the race itself in Animal Kingdom was really fun.
It was really fun. They did, for those of you guys who weren't there were storms, as Aaron and Michael mentioned. So they actually cut the course. And then there was supposed to be a scavenger hunt portion of it that was an app that they canceled that. So, but I don't think they cut the course that much because my watch, although, going around all the place, I think was like 2.65 or something like that.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be, when we looked at the map too, there's like a service road that had an out and back. So you went in the park and then there was like a little service road that you left the park for a second and then went out like a quarter mile and back a quarter mile. And we're like, wow, well, that's where they're cutting because it's like the perfect place to cut. And we never did a service road. So the obvious assumption is that's what they cut. But we ran around the parking lot. We did a mile around the parking lot before we even went into the park.
Yeah.
And then when you got into the park, there's a lot to do because Divine was right there when you walked in. So they had a character stop almost immediately when you walked in. They had the photo pass at the Tree of Life. They had several other characters out that Ryan and Andrew ran ahead and got into some of the lines for us.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was actually scared that because they cut the course and they were like so worried about getting people off that they would have no entertainment, but they had a ton of characters, bands playing, a few spots. I loved it. I thought it was super interactive.
Yeah, we got out of one of the last character lines we were in because they kept saying to us, if it rains, the characters go away. And then if you're in that line and you've been waiting all that time and it starts raining, now you're just in the rain.
Yeah.
And like it kept like every so often, like those big drops. So we were like, oh. So towards the end, we sort of just kept running through. So I ran with Diana and like the Maryland group of listeners, Nikki, Nicole, Scott, Ryan, the Weckerleys were there. Angie and Andrew ran with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really fun. It was super fun.
We ran through Pandora at night, which was
beautiful.
Awesome.
It was beautiful, like the
gorgeous.
iridescent.
Everyone the entire time was like, if Tom was here, he would be dying because you couldn't see anything. There were some spots that were like pitch black, and we're like, oh my god, Tom would be out with
the sidewalk at Animal Kingdom. It's supposed to be like natural, so there's like holes and everything everywhere, like
treacherous.
We were thinking about you. And then what's the little crawl thing that we did for Tom?
Oh yeah, I do this like gremlin walk to annoy Tom sometimes. And so we all did that for a photo stop.
I secretly love it.
He'll just like be walking in a store and turn around, and I'll just be doing that behind him.
Oh my god,
it's embarrassing.
It was super fun.
But yeah, that was. I mean, I'd say that was like maybe my favorite event of the weekend. I don't know. It was just like really fun and like because it's a 5K, super casual. It's not timed. Everyone was in a good mood, even though it was kind of rainy. I don't know. I felt like they were like kind of good vibes. I love a Disney 5K. The only part that
was a little bit disappointing was that like because of the threat of rain the whole time, like at the end of the race when we crossed the finish line, we never even really stopped in like the finish area to like take a bunch of pictures and like do like what we normally do, like
or talk
at
all.
Like
everyone's like running to the bus.
Oh my god, we gotta go to the buses. It's gonna rain.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to like enjoy the post race kind of atmosphere, which we normally do.
Yeah.
So that was the only part that was a little disappointing about that.
And I love a Disney 5K. Like I said, we've done races with friends, and sometimes I've been the only one that does the 5K. Like I did the 5K alone for Princess. I did it alone for Tinkerbell. Like there's one more where I was like the only one that did the 5K because I love them so much. They are expensive, but I think it's worth it. So
you get your money's worth. I get my money's worth. Spending all your time out on the course.
Yeah, I get like 2-hour 5K time. So nice. I think it's great.
Okay, so that was Thursday. Nothing was on Friday. And then Saturday was the 10K. Mm-hmm. The sweaty, humid 10K.
Oh my God. We were dripping with sweat in the corral. And I knew it was bad because it was like in the 60s, which normally I'd be like, oh, I need a Mylar because it's slightly chilly out.
Yeah. That morning was rough for me. First of all, I got up where like I said, I was on the first bus, which I know you guys say that you do all the time. But I am not normally on the first bus, but for some reason I had like a really hard time waking up. I think I was like, you know, when you're in the middle of a sleep cycle and it wakes you up and then you get that really groggy feeling.
Yes.
So that morning is a blur to me. I really don't remember much of that morning. I agreed to do a group costume with people that I've never run with. And I only really knew 2 of the people that were part of the group costume. 3 kind of tangentially, but like it was like a big group of Star Wars people who were reminiscent for the days of Star Wars.
I love it.
So I was Chewie, and I didn't have my entire costume when I got to the race. And I feel like I saw you because you were dressed up. You guys dressed up as Disney, the passports.
Yeah, we dressed up as drink around the world passports.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. Tom wanted to do something, but we wanted it to be kind of low effort. So this is all his idea. It was awesome.
Yeah, very happy with how that turned out.
Big recollections of you being there. That morning was a real blur for me.
Yeah, we didn't really see you before the race. And I don't know why. I feel like we saw a couple of people, and then we just kind of went and got in the corral.
We had pictures together, so I saw
you.
Yeah, on the boardwalk. I feel like, well, no, we saw you at the beginning, and then we kind of caught back up with you.
At the start line, I definitely saw you because I have pictures from it, but I don't actually remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, but it was so humid.
Yeah. And I will give credit where credit is due. Ryan is the hero for our group of the weekend because he went and he ran ahead to all the character stops so that he could get in line, and then would text back and say, oh, hey, it's this person. Do you want me to stay in line or not? So that was awesome. So he did that for all 3 races. And for the 10 miler, I mean, he was by himself for like a lot of time. So just shout out to Ryan for being amazing.
I think
we saw you off and on. Once we got to the boardwalk area, I feel like we kind of went back and forth a bunch with my group and your group.
Yeah.
Because we got in a picture with you. Yeah, we got into a picture with you too. And then I think that I remember when we got to Epcot, you guys were in line for Ratatouille or for Remy, and so were we. And then that woman came from the bikes where the balloon ladies were coming there.
So aggressive. She was pissed.
Very aggressively yelled, if you are in this line, the balloon ladies are coming, and if you don't start moving, you're gonna get swept. It was very aggressive the way she said it.
I'm like, there's 300 people here. You're not sweeping 300 people.
It scared me, so I ran away.
Oh, yeah, Tom ran away with Mickey.
In all of the balloon lady races I've done, like the races I've done where the balloon ladies have been around me, and I've seen bikers, and I've seen the sweepers and whatever, I have never heard someone so aggressively yell and talk and threaten people that they're gonna get swept.
Oh, I have. I've heard that. It's when you're in line for a character that they do that. I heard that at Avengers when I was in line with somebody, and then I heard it at the first princess I ever did when we were in line for somebody. They were yelling like that.
Because I've been around the balloon ladies a lot, and I've never heard them so aggressive about it.
She was really aggressive. Mean. She was kind of mean. She could scare people.
It was downright mean. Like, it wasn't like just like yelling like a warning. It was like mean.
Yeah. I didn't get out of line.
I didn't either. We were like, you guys were behind us in that line, and then we were just ahead of you. But then after that, like, I took pictures with the balloon ladies, with Nancy, and I will
tell you, when she did that, the pictures start moving a lot faster. I'll tell you that, because that line was moving at a snail's pace.
Yes, that was the longest line too.
It was the longest line in
because
the slowest
it was
line.
Remy.
No one was moving.
Yeah, he's the title of character of the race. So it was just like that line was so long. But yeah.
But
and then we ran around World Showcase. We ran back behind France, came back in around Morocco and back around. But we were with the balloon ladies the whole time. Like they were never, like they were with us. And then we dropped back behind them, and people were still freaking out behind me. And I'm like, there's still hundreds of us. They're not like you're.
they're not sweeping 300 people.
I will say, before we move on to the 10-miler, I will say that the negativity and the misinformation at the back of the pack is
so
rampant.
It's so bad.
I can't. It's so I am just super over all after this run season for some reason. And I mean, I've obviously been aware of it and around it a lot. But for some reason this year it really got to me. Like it just like it was constant.
Well, but nothing against slower runners. Good Lord, I'm your king. But
the king of the slow runners.
But like people will just feed all kinds of stuff to each other back there. Well, if you make it to mile 6.2 of the 10-miler, they can't catch you or they can't sweep you. Like,
I don't know. My issue is just that like once like one set of people, like if two people are talking about it, all of a sudden like the people who are next to them start like chiming in, and then the next people start chiming in, and the next thing you know, it's just like this negative energy all around you. Like I just feel like it's so negative, and I hate that's what that fear has become, because like a lot of races have cutoffs, but for some reason it just seems like exponentially worse in the Disney races, and I don't know why, because I've been in the backpacks of a lot of other marathons, like running and pacing with other people, and like it just for some reason, I mean, Marine Corps has some really strict cutoffs to beat the bridge and stuff like that, but there's just something about the negative vibe in the back of the pack in the Disney races because of the balloon ladies.
Well, I think it's multiple things. I think you have a lot more beginner runners at the Disney races, just in general. Who aren't experienced with making cutoffs or with racing in general, or have only experienced Disney races and haven't gone through anything else. Like, plenty of things have cutoffs. Like Big Sur has pretty tight cutoffs. Marine Corps has tight cutoffs. Lots of things do. And Disney's are pretty generous, but there's just a lot more beginner runners.
Disney's is actually not generous if you're running if you start with the balloon ladies. Disney's only becomes generous if you start up front, which I think is part of the problem.
Oh, okay. I got
you. Like Disney's,
because it's 16, right?
It's 16-minute miles, which is not super easy for a lot of people, for a lot of first-time marathoners.
Yeah, no, I'm not
so
saying
like
it
if you
is,
start
but
like all the way in the back,
what ones are longer than that?
Becomes like even Marine Corps. I think theirs is an 18-minute to get to the bridge.
No, it's maybe to the bridge, but it's a 14-minute, because I know Nikki and Nicole were really worried.
But I think bottom line, you sign up, you commit to a 16-minute mile without stopping for anything. Right?
Yes.
And
therein lies the issue.
The draw to these races is the fun on the course. It's the character stops. It's all the pictures, and you want to build a lot of that time in. So, I mean, you got to pick and choose your battles, but
yeah. No, that's true. That is a big part of it, is the characters. Because even for me, when I talk about proof of time for Disney, because we were just having this conversation in a group today, the only reason why I used to even stress, quote unquote, about a proof of time was because it gave me more time
on the
to
course.
have fun on the course, and ride Everest and ride, possibly Tower of Terror when they had Fast Pass. Like you could do those kinds of things, whereas now Everest isn't even really a factor, and I've been running mostly with like to help pace people, so my proof of time isn't as important to me anymore. But that's why I used to care about proof of time, was because I used to do the things to have the fun on the course.
Yeah, to not be in that last corral.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always people who are going to be swept. It's going to happen, and that's not terrible either. Like,
I don't know.
You did your best. That's it.
It was so humid during that 10K. We ran past like the parade buses, the sweet buses, and we were screaming, "Does it have air conditioning?" at the bus driver, and he was laughing. Like, we're like, "Is there AC on that thing?
God.
Let me in." It's so disgusting, but I get it. And if you're worried about it, it's not. It's okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the 10K was good. We didn't hang out afterwards. We went to a park. It was just humid. If it wasn't so humid, it wouldn't have been as miserable.
It was soupy
Did I
that
hang
day.
out? I don't even. Oh, I did hang out for a little while.
Yeah, you hung out.
Yeah, I hung out for a bit and with some friends.
Yep.
I met up with the Raw Threads gals and some of the Mouseketeer friends that I have. So that was fun.
Nice.
Drank a couple beers, and that morning I saw Zane.
I didn't see him all weekend.
Yeah, I texted him when I was at the finish and said, "Where are you?" And we navigated through text message to try and find each other.
Oh, I'm sad I missed him.
So I got to see him real quick, took a quick selfie, and then he had some personal commitments after the 10-miler, so we didn't get to see him again. That was just my quick in passing.
Did you guys see me cheering on the boardwalk?
No. Where the hell were you?
Not, Michael.
I was in my bed.
We were yelling at you.
I was in my bed yelling out the door.
And then got yelled at because we were in a quiet zone.
It was like a quiet zone, so we were whisper yelling.
We were like, Michael! Where are you?
I woke up and I clicked on Find My on my iPhone, and Erin was in the World Showcase. I was like, well, I guess I missed them. I'm gonna lay back down. Well, because I got up at 2:30 when she got up, but then I didn't fall back asleep until 5 a.m.
Yep, that'll happen.
So I'm like, great, I need like some sleep.
I, on the other hand, got no sleep that day.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no.
I cannot believe when I saw you and you were like, I have not napped. I couldn't believe it.
Saturday was the day that it absolutely, we were all in Hollywood Studios, all kind of separately. And we were with Mark and Megan, and we made it to Baseline Tap House, and we saw my friends Kristen and Linda and I was about to call her Veruca, but Steph. They were all there hanging out, and as we're like saying hi to them, it just starts torrentially pouring, like sideways rain.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Insane weather. And you guys were in Hollywood Studios also. And when it finally slowed down, we found you at Starbucks for a couple seconds.
And I was huddled on the floor like a gremlin eating a carrot cake cookie.
Yeah.
Just in the corner.
We walked back to Hollywood Studios. It was from Hollywood Studios to Boardwalk. And it was still so windy that any last bit of energy I had that day was taken out of me by trying to walk through this misery with the wind blowing in my face. And I was like, I am so dead. And we hadn't eaten dinner. And I'm like, we have to at least figure out some place to eat. And our plan had been to go to World Showcase and like eat around the world. But now it's like pouring because the storm had moved south instead of staying north.
Yep.
And so we like desperately tried to find a reservation at the last possible second.
Thankfully, we got one at Flying Fish, so we didn't even have to leave
Boardwalk. So we didn't even have to go anywhere. But we found one at like 6:45. I was like, no, we have to be in bed tonight by 7:30.
Thankfully, I got one at 5:10.
Yeah, we kept like refreshing, and we found one. But yes, that night I was like, 7:30, I'm in bed or I'm revolting.
No, yeah, you have to be. You have to be. And it's so hard to do that, but you just have to kind of make yourself. It was funny because we were going to Uber Eats because the last couple of nights we had eaten in like the hotel, like food courty area and done like the chicken parm they had there and the pizza they'd done there. And so we're like, oh, well, Uber Eats. And it was going to be over an hour. So then we just had crappy food court pasta again. It's fine. God. It's fine. Yeah. Like I was like this
it's
and
edible.
Sleep. This and sleep is better than waiting
an hour and then having to like
Agreed.
go to bed later because you had to wait an hour for your food. Yeah.
And then like you get it's like all the chaos of the food and the eat. Like then you wouldn't have been asleep as easily. Like I don't know, it's too much.
For like the 15th time, can we please talk about this 10-miler?
Well, I mean,
wow. Do you really want to start with this? Because I feel like Diana Tom and Diana have a story on how their 10-miler morning started out.
God, I forgot about this.
Yeah, Tom was not pleased with me.
I was fine. First of all, my public persona is that I have anxiety and that I'm all like, I get all up in arms and I get all cranky and nervous and
I see no lies here.
Which is sort of on brand.
But
in this particular situation, I was not necessarily freaking out.
See what he was doing. He did, instead of what he does sometimes, he gets like quiet and he doesn't say anything, and then he just keeps saying, "I'm fine. This isn't bothering me. I'm fine."
So I got a text message as I'm getting off the bus. Are you at the start line? And I'm like, yeah, we were just getting here. She's like, all right, can you do me a favor and go to the information and find out if I can get a replacement bib? And I'm like, oh God.
So
here we go.
I left my bib. I had hung my bib belt because it was sweaty. I hung it in the bathroom, kind of like on where like the hangers are. And a towel had gotten put in front of it. So I forgot to look for it in the morning. And I left it and I noticed it on the bus. And I was thinking, so I had you check because my plan was, well, I'll just get back on the bus and I'll go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
And I'll get it. And then come back. But it was fine. So I had my license with me, thank God. I was able to
because that was the thing that was the first thing she said. She's like, does she have her license? I was like, oh.
Yeah. So I was glad I had that. And I almost didn't have that, but I was glad I brought it. But what they do when they give you a replacement bib, I got put in the last corral. And then I had issues, like they wouldn't let me in the corral I had. I tried to show them a picture. The lady was being really mean to me. I was being kind of mean to her back, honestly. Like I probably should have done some more sugar, but I was annoyed because she was coming. When someone comes in hot, I match the energy. It's not a good quality.
Nope.
It's not a great quality. But if you're coming in hot with me, I will sometimes match that energy. So I kind of came in hot back at her. But then I ended up in a corral with some people that I knew, with Nicole and Nikki and Ryan and everyone. So that was fine. But Tom was pretty stressed because first I stretched him out with the bib thing, and then I stretched him out with like the corral thing. So I was just adding layers of stress that he did not need.
Well, yeah, so you guys had dropped back. So I was in S2, and my plan was to run with you guys for this race. So I'd run a different race with some other friends. So I was,
and my original bib was an S2.
Yeah, I'll run back with you guys, and if we drop back to S3, great. I'll just drop back with you guys. And then that whole debacle started. Before we got there, we got to see some friends at the start line. Before all of that, which I think is why
almost no one, because I was in line trying to fix my
bib. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got to see Susanna. We saw Mallory.
Oh my God, Susanna was all over the RunDisney post this weekend.
Yeah,
she's so
she was
freaking
because
cute.
she looked adorable in all her costumes.
She's so cute.
So we got to see some people before the race, which was nice. I saw I Run for Margaritas was there. I think that was that day, or was that the 10? Yeah, no, because you were there when that happened. I get my days mixed up. Yeah, we got to see some listeners. It was fun.
Mark and Megan were there.
We saw Jen Hall.
Aaron, you and I saw Bob from Rise and Run.
Bob
Did you really?
At the 10K. He wasn't there that long.
Cool.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah, you were you're in the bathroom. Everyone was in the bathroom when he walked up, and then he was like, "I got to get into my corral."
Oh,
which we actually thought we saw him at Epcot. A different day, but then we couldn't catch up with him. To say hi, so we missed a lot of the Rise and Run crew. Next time we'll have to on purpose try and make a meetup with them. So yeah, it was fun. We got to see some people. But then we all got into our corrals. Everyone got stressed. Tom ended up, he was in S2. So I was in S2. So he ended up staying up in S2 with me so that we could start a little sooner than you guys.
Did you guys know I was in S2 also?
Yes, I was just going to say Michael started in S2. I was just going to say that. Michael started in S2, but kind of went off on his own. As he does.
That was your 10-miler, Michael. Your lonely 10-miler.
As he does. Did you see that he made sure that he smiled in every photo pass?
I did.
Because he didn't want us to give him trash when I saw his pictures and was like, can you smile at all? So
I have to find it. There's one of me where it's almost as bad as the donut photo. Like where I'm making that face.
Oh, God.
All right. will say that there was a ton of PhotoPass out there.
So many.
A ton of PhotoPass out there, which was great for the people who are not going to stop, because Tom did not want to stop that much. We just wanted to keep moving forward. It was humid. Like, you just kind of want to get to that finish. We had a therapy session. We had a good chat. And then every single time we saw a PhotoPass, I was just like, PhotoPass. So I was keeping my eye out for all of them so that since we weren't stopping for the characters, we would get some good pictures.
I love it.
There was one stretch that was treacherous on the way to Hollywood Studios.
There was. I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Like along the water.
I took off on the grass.
Yes. And someone yelled at him.
No, like there was like a female Tom behind me having a panic attack because I was running on grass.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you had only seen what I was running on the weekend before in Russ's race, I'm like, this grass is the least of my worries.
Yeah. And I will.
But it was like super crowded there.
It was crowded.
And it was
there.
like super hard to, like, when you come down off the curb and then you have to like come off the pavement onto the actual path on the mats. Like, it was like not the greatest. And then there's a water stop.
That
right
was
in the middle of it.
That was a terrible spot for a water stop. And it was a little treacherous for me because I had stopped in England to go to the bathroom, and I did that thing because I was running with Nicole. So for us, for some reason, everyone kind of decided to do their own thing for the race. So I ran with Nicole and Ryan, with Ryan running ahead for photo stop. So I basically ran with Nicole, and poor Ryan ran by himself. Nikki and Scott ran together. Kate decided to do her own thing the entire race, and she would randomly appear for photos sometimes and then disappear like a magic fairy. So,
oh my God.
So Nicole had left me in England to pee, and then she was walking, and then I was running through that by myself, like trying to catch up with her in the chaos.
God.
I was like, oh my God.
Through that area?
I was like,
man.
God, like trying to like weave in and out of people.
Oof.
I will say Tom probably only told me to watch my feet like a handful of times. Though I could see him, like, when I would drift over a little, I would make sure I drifted back so that he didn't get nervous.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all I heard behind me was, oh my God, watch out, be careful. I'm like, Lord, stop.
Tom?
Yeah. They should have moved the water stop up to the bus stop area.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like
where it's wide open.
It was so weird that they decided to put that there.
It's a little too tight right there. Yeah.
But honestly, for the course and the race experience itself, I would say that would be my one complaint. The one thing I could also see is like reversing the course. So you start like you went the opposite direction. But I thought the course was great because
the reason why they don't, though, because the more we talked about it, the reason why they don't is because the only way for you to come into down tower to see the Tower of Terror, because if they reverse the course,
you're not
you come
running
in,
at Tower
you're not
of Terror.
running towards the Tower of
I'm
Terror.
with you.
And it's also not dark.
Yeah.
So it's not lit up.
I'm not on board.
Like
I'm on board with you. I'm on
100% that you have to go that direction. Like, I know that the end of the course, people were like, "Ugh," but like
it was the middle.
I honestly don't think the end of the course was that bad. I was just thinking, honestly, for that spot in particular, I was like, if that was at the end rather than the beginning, it might have been less crowded. It would be,
yes,
so that would be
marathon.
That would be the only thing I would change for that.
During
being
the
a
marathon, you do that also, but it's never like
the opposite
crazy.
direction.
But you're at mile 3, and people have barely even finished going off in the corrals at that point because so it's so crowded.
And
I do agree with that.
And I honestly thought, go ahead.
But I think that the course can't go the other way because
I'm with you.
Going through the way that they did the course, you got everything in the dark. You got to go through Toy Story Land with like
all the lights
on the sides of you.
That's true,
You got to go like down and around through
in the dark,
in the dark,
and the
stormtroopers up top,
the Disney Hollywood Studios sign. Like when they got the pictures going that direction as you're running towards them, so the pictures are great. Like all the directions that they did, so that they got the best pictures. honestly, you couldn't do it the other way.
And I actually loved the course. I love that we started and then kind of ended in a park where kind of the crappy miles were in the middle.
Yep.
And I actually didn't think they were that bad. I thought they had great entertainment on course. I loved how it was all themed. I loved how they had like old commercials and like 1930s music and Twilight Zone stuff. And I thought it was a great mix, and I thought they had great characters everywhere.
The second you came out of the start line, when you first went down and through the parking lot, they had like those lights and the smoke,
and it was like you're entering the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, the 1839, like
1939.
The like everywhere you went, and as you went through different areas, they had like the music, and they had like the.
I loved it.
I loved it. It was great.
The theming was so good, and then they had really great entertainment out. Like
music was amazing.
When you went through France, there was a woman. I don't know what she was singing for everyone, but she was singing La Vie en Rose, and she sounded great. There was like kind of an Andrew Sisters style band when you were out on the highway with nothing. Adventurers Club was out there.
The Adventurers Club was out there.
There was the bells guy, the guy who
the bells guy with the chimes.
That was really cool.
That was really cool.
They also had 3 singers out on the highway. The 3 women. I forget.
Like the Andrew Sisters type band. Yeah.
Yes, they had that. They had so much.
I thought it was one of the best themed races and courses that I've seen, where like everything you saw on course was themed to what it was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was constant. And I don't know, because Nicole and I were talking like the entire time. So that also could have made the race experience better. I don't get to run with her that often, but I've gotten a little faster. So now it's not miserable for me to run with her. So I really enjoyed it, and I wasn't struggling. And we were just talking the whole time. So it didn't feel like 10 miles.
I agree with that.
When we finished.
And Tom and I did a lot of run walk.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like it was hard to string, like there was a lot of places that it's hard to string together like good intervals, like where you were like, we're going to run what were we doing, Tom? 130s?
130s, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we were doing 130s. So we would run for a minute and then walk, but then like you would like get to like a bottleneck, so you couldn't really do that, or you'd get here and you couldn't really do that. And so then like it was hard to get into a flow. I will say that we never really quite found a groove for that many miles. And then when we came out of the park, we're like, okay, once we hit mile 5, we're going to get into a groove. And then there was the ramp. So we're like, all right, we're going to run down the ramp and then we'll get into a groove. But then there was like the gummies were there. So then we started eating. So then we're like, all right, at mile 6, we're going to get into a groove. And then there was an on-ramp. So we're like, we're going up the ramp. We're like, all right, once we're past this ramp, we're going to get into a groove. And it just like never happened.
Never happened. I love it. Well, and that's great when races happen like that. We did our intervals. We did 2 and 1s. We did them the whole race. When we got our snacks and stuff, we would walk maybe a little extra, but we did 2 and 1s pretty much the whole time. Every single run was up a hill, because we're in hell. So of course, that's
we didn't do that. We didn't run.
That's the way the intervals hit. It was so funny. There were a couple parts where we were running up the hill and we were like, I am strong up the hill. And like people were like, get it, girls. So we were like doing mantras and shouting as we were like running up the hill. So that was super fun. And I did my nutrition right. I was like in the zone, and I had a really good overall time. Like there was 1 mile where we didn't stop for anything, and I ended up with like an 11:40 mile. Just because like we didn't stop. But again, Ryan is the real hero of the day. The only reason why I have pictures that day was because Ryan was running ahead and getting in line for characters.
And Weckerly, right?
Not on the 10 miler.
Not on the 10 miler.
Yeah. It was just the 3 of us. All the photos are me, Ryan, and Nicole, where it looks like I'm just crashing their date. It's fine. Third wheeling it.
We caught up with you. We took a picture at the DuckTales stop with you guys.
Yep. So we saw you there. It was so funny.
We saw you there.
We saw you guys. Yeah, going into Epcot, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
We saw you guys going into Epcot.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, should we walk? But like, I didn't feel like I needed to walk. So I was like, I'm just going to run and see how far I run. So like we said hi and then kept going. But then there was a character right around the corner. So
we saw Jen Hall kind of towards the end.
Yep.
And we ran with her for the last mile. Our finish line photo is actually with her.
Nice.
We saw Mallory on course. We saw Allison, girl without tattoo again.
Mm-hmm.
Someplace, and I think we were leaving Epcot the first time when we saw her. Yeah, so we saw some other people along the way too.
Yeah, I saw Mallory. Fun. We got out of the line, so right in front of Tower of Terror, they had these like dead bellhops that were doing kind of some stick and taking photo. The line was so long, we ended up getting out of it. But I walked up the line praying I'd see somebody I knew, and I did see Mallory, but she was by herself, so I didn't want to be like, hey, me and like my rando group of people should cut in front of you and get in the photo with you. Like she seemed to like want her own picture, so I didn't want to like push myself on her. So we got, that was the only one that we wanted that we skipped, but we got like I don't know if they were grave diggers or dead people or whatever they were later. They were fun.
Yep.
So, and like Ryan said, he didn't mind like running ahead in line. He said, especially because there was always like something else going on other than the characters. And he loved being in the lines with the characters because he's like, when the Adventurers Club were going, he's like, I just listened to their like stick the whole time we were in line. And it like, and all of a sudden you were there. Like he said, it wasn't that bad. So
that's good.
Yeah. So Michael, did you stop for anything?
No, I didn't stop for anything. I just enjoyed running through the park, so that was nice, and it looked nice. And I was hoping to go sub 130, but I went over that because I don't know, my legs were a little beat from Big Woods still.
Also, I don't know why you want to go.
I don't know. It was just for fun, and also, honestly, once I got through the first 3 miles in the parks or whatever, and then you hit the roads, I was kind of like, nah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
and I just ran like, I feel like coast it
I only said that because not like, you're not having fun, but like it's hard to like hit a time goal when it's like bottlenecked. You run into bottleneck after bottleneck.
Yeah, well, I did have
at the beginning of the race.
Like, I had a pretty slow mile at that boardwalk slash.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so hard to like try and like get a time when.
Yeah.
Unless you're like in the front, which you didn't go to the front.
No, and I didn't even go to the front of my corral.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you had gone to the front of S2, I think you may have been able to. But I just think that it gets too bottlenecked on a Disney course.
It does, yeah. So I finished fine, like 134 or something like that.
And then you hung out and waited for us, all the rest of us fools.
Then I hung out. I talked to ran into Mike Rallman from Be Our Guest, and we commiserated about both of us missing 90-minute mark.
He's so fast.
I don't know, Tom. What else about our run?
I don't know. Well, one thing which I'll call, this is going to be a little weird, the money shot.
Pardon?
It's that part in the race where you're on the highway and you're going on like a long straightaway, then you go up onto an overpass, and then you look back at the where you just were, and you see that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get the confidence that there's no way you're ever going to get swept.
Yeah, there's still so many people behind you. Yeah. They're still pouring out towards you. Like they haven't even started going up the ramp yet, and there's still so many people coming towards us.
Yeah. And I only say that to say that there's a lot of people that take part in these races. And they're doing their own thing, they're going their own pace, and I feel like the whole thing about the balloon ladies gets so elevated and exacerbated, and we did kind of walk the second half of the race, and I wasn't remotely scared that we were going to get swept.
Yeah, it was funny because, when you were looking behind and seeing that huge crowd, I was in that crowd because I started in the corral behind you. But when we caught up to you guys, we saw you, so we like sprinted to get to you and then walked a minute with you guys. And we were like, oh, are you guys doing intervals? And you just looked and you were like, we're walking it out. And we were like, okay. And we just kept doing our intervals. And you were like, you weren't stressed. You weren't you were like, we're just.
Yeah, we had a good vibe the whole time.
Yeah, we're just vibing.
Yeah. Yeah, we had good conversation. I don't know.
I really appreciated that. I will tell you that for Dopey, I will not be that happy.
I was just going to say, it was just our preview to what Dopey's going to look like.
But no, it was a great race. If I wasn't a little bit stressed. I would have stopped more for characters because there were a lot of good characters. But I think everyone that we talked to, that we knew, that we ran into, had a great weekend.
Yeah. I think so. We hung out after the race and had beers, so that was great.
We saw Dave.
I was like, I finally saw Dave after evading him for the first 2 races. Like,
Mark and Megan were there at the finish. I introduced Tom to the Raw Threads girls.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Kate and Jen. We're in the process of getting Tom a shirt from Raw Threads, custom made. So yeah, it was fun.
Who else did we see? There was like I feel like
there's a lot of
there.
people because I don't know. I mean, Megan was there. Second Star Megan was there again. I don't know. Everyone, a lot of people.
Shout out to Ryan Runs Disney for one of the best costumes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I forget if this. I think this was the 10K.
10K. Yeah.
That he was the cheese from the race box.
So good.
I didn't recognize it because I never take the box.
Oh
my God.
Tom yelled at him because Tom's wanted to do that for a race for a while now. He wants us all to do that. So
yeah.
Took that idea. We can still do it. It's fine.
We could.
Are you going to be the tortilla chips and he's going to be the cheese?
Oh, you're the cheese to my tortilla chips.
Oh.
Aw.
Mer.
They're cute.
I feel like it's never mind.
I know where you're going.
Ruined it.
This is a PG.
You ruined it.
The thought crossed my mind.
You made it
like,
gross.
I'm not going to ruin it. And then he ruined it right immediately after I thought to myself,
Michael.
I'm not going to do it.
You made it gross.
Oh, gosh.
So yeah, it was great to hang out with everyone after the race. Then we all took a long, refreshing nap. We all slept for like 2 hours, got dressed. We did a monorail bar crawl, and then we did a fireworks cruise.
Yeah,
I did not take a nap at all.
Oh, yeah.
I went from park to park to park. We had Magic Kingdom reservations, and so park reservations. So we went to Magic Kingdom. Because we didn't have a choice, even though we tried to change our reservation to Epcot, but because park reservations being what they are, we had to check into Magic Kingdom in order to go anywhere else.
So even though we were staying at Boardwalk, we couldn't walk through Epcot to go back to Boardwalk because we didn't have a stupid park reservation.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And we had
Disney.
to take the bus from Epcot to friggin' Boardwalk.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because of that reason, which is just stupid.
Ludicrous and stupid. Let us complain about all the things we hate about Disney right now.
It is stupid.
Or not.
It is stupid.
So we went to Magic Kingdom and I took some pictures. And then I was like, oh, well, it'd be nice to go to Hollywood Studios and get the pictures in Hollywood Studios since it's the Tower of Terror. So then we walked through Epcot that time to get back to Boardwalk. So then I stopped and was like, well, I'm here. I might as well get the pictures for the 10K race here with the Remy. What are those things?
Topiaries.
With the Remy Topiary, I was like, let me get that. So then I walked all around Epcot, and then I walked to Hollywood Studios, and I never napped.
I can't believe you didn't nap. I'm also jealous of your photos. For some reason, I don't know what was going through us this weekend, like our minds this weekend, but every day we were like, oh, should we bring these medals with us to the parks or where we're going? We're like, nah. And I never do that. Like I always get a bunch of pictures with my medals at the parks, and I didn't.
Yeah. That was that day. I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I've got to do it now. So I went around to all the parks, and I got all of my pictures with my medals, and I did a ton of like PhotoPass pictures with them and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So
I think that's what we're gonna do for Dopey.
Yeah.
And last time I did Dopey, I made a mistake and wanted to do that the day of the marathon.
Yeah.
And I think this year we'll just go to the parks on Monday.
That's actually my plan, is to do that all on Monday.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just like so tiring to do it the night before.
Yeah.
Other than maybe like a night picture or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. It's still far away. But that was the problem, is the 10 miler. I did it even though I only ran 10 miles, like I was still up from 2:30 in the morning. So it didn't really matter. Like it was still very exhausting to go do all of that.
Yeah.
And then do the fireworks show.
Yep.
Which was super fun. If anyone I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever in Disney.
Oh, yeah.
The fireworks boat to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that was
really
delightful.
fun.
We were late because we tried to get like carry out at, what is that, Steakhouse 71?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took,
So
like, 2 hours.
it was so, and the poor girl
my
was hurting
God.
her ears. Like she was basically on the verge of tears. It was not her fault. It
Aw.
wasn't. It was, there were too many people. It was a bad idea. We were late. So we missed a little bit of the boat cruise, but I think it was like reasonable per person. Like it would be bad if like one family was doing it on their own.
Yeah.
But when you had kind of multiple mini groups, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So they'll take you on a little tour around like Discovery Island and all that. You watch Connor's favorite, the Electric Light Parade. And then you pull up and you watch the fireworks. They pipe the music in. It's
I
pretty.
thought that was the cool part because I wasn't 100% sure about the music. And I'm like, I was thinking it as it was starting. I'm like, are they going to do the music? And I think Nikki or Nicole actually said it. And then as soon as they said it, literally he had turned on the music. And we were like, oh, okay, we get the music.
Although, hot take, Harmonious.
Oh, yeah, we loved Harmonious. We loved it.
Fantastic.
We loved
Harmonious at night is better than how ugly Harmonious is during the day.
No.
Disagree.
Nope.
I know. It's a hot take, and a lot of people will say no.
And we sat right where you needed to sit, where we got
that's
full
exactly
front-on view.
We
were
dead on
being on the side and not thinking, was that great?
Well,
From where I was sitting, it was the best show I've ever seen in Disney.
And
it was like World of Color level.
Like so many people, like if you get in front, it will change your entire perspective of the whole show. And I stand by that. Like I agree. I'm sure that that's a great show then. But if you're going to have a 360-degree World Showcase, then it needs to be a 360-degree show. And I still maintain that for a 15-20-minute show, having those things in the middle of the showcase where you can't see across and take pictures anymore, it's like, and when I posted it the other day on my Facebook, Tom was like, ants at a picnic. And I'm like, well, there's a lot of ants. And immediately after, it was like 20 people who are like, I agree. I'm like,
it was so funny because Tom and I had like watching the show, we got about halfway through it and we looked at each other and we're like, is it worth it? Are these things kind of worth how good this is?
All right, so I think that covers it for Springtime Surprise.
Does it?
Yeah.
I guess the next big thing for us, Disney related, would be registration for Dopey that's coming up.
Yeah. So hopefully that goes better than it did last time.
Those themes were pretty amazing.
The theme's great.
I'm super excited. There were 3 people out of like a lot of people who voted that were meh about it on our poll. So apparently there's a few people, and I heard from I Run for Margaritas who was like, I don't know why I'm the only person who doesn't like these. So you're not alone. We had a couple other people who did not like it either.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're fun. Like, I don't have nostalgia for it.
Yeah, really they really targeted us millennials. Yeah. Like that's about us.
Childless millennials for the win. Like that's who they're targeting. And no, I think it's great. I think it's fun. And I think it's a great way to spin because they always do some variation of the Fab Five, right? Whether they include Chip and Dale sometimes they don't, and they move stuff around, but it's always like Fab Five-ish. So it's a good way to, let's spice it up a little bit. Like, let's do something a little different.
I am glad that they brought Chip and Dale because I will say one of the things, and I said it to a couple of people, like the randomly having Oswald or randomly having it didn't make sense to me as an overall theme. I mean, Dopey doesn't really make sense in that regard either then, I guess, but it's, I don't know,
that's just a play on being Dopey
Dopey. Yeah, but whereas the rest of them, like it was always Pluto's 5K or like there was always like, I don't know, to me, like the marathon weekend should be the Fab Five plus Chip and Dale. Like I
agree with that.
That's
the
classic
my
weekend. Classic weekends. So I'm super excited that the first year I decided to do Dopey that they put Chip and Dale on that medal, and I got Donald and Daisy and Pluto and Mickey and Minnie. I'm super, super excited about it.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
Do we want to wrap up with something good? I'll go first.
Tom's so aggressive about it.
All right. So my something good, music related, and it's the start of the concert season. Sadly, the Foo Fighters canceled their tour.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That is so sad.
But we have a lot coming up. I went to a concert this past Tuesday with one of my friends, and we're going to fish, and we're going to Dave Matthews with him and his wife. And I'm just really excited that we have a lot of concerts coming up, including Paul McCartney, which I'm very excited about.
Ooh,
nice.
So,
summer concerts.
My
something good. It's just been a great week for Men I Love. So we got Harry Styles, and then my fave Taika Waititi. We finally watched Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max. It's Taika's new show about pirates. It's super gay. It's like a rom-com for pirates. It's amazing. It's so great. God. It's so great. It's so funny. And much like what we do in the shadows, it's mostly me giggling and Tom kind of sometimes laughing, but mostly just staring at me laughing. So check it out. It's so great. It's so just like heartfelt and adorable. And yeah, it's a rom-com with pirates.
Oh, there you go. Yep. We have the same something
good? We were going to have the same something good.
Ooh.
And then now that I see that he put it on there already, I obviously can't do it as my something good. I mean, I'll chat about it when he brings it up. So I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to make my something good. We ate at Jico's in Disney. And I think it might now be my favorite. It's definitely up there on my favorite restaurants, maybe in my top 3. I would have to kind of think about that a little bit more. But,
I've never been. It's supposed to be amazing. I've done Boma.
God. I mean, so good. Both Connor and I had slow braised. He had slow braised lamb and I had short rib, and it was just so tender. It was like the 7 hours roasting. It was so good. Everything is just flavored perfectly. I don't know. Service was great. The drink was really good that I had. I highly recommend it if you are looking for a little bit of a fancier night out down in Disney. For a little bit of a fancier sit-down dinner, because it is a little bit more expensive than some of the other restaurants.
It's bougie. I want to go.
It is bougie, but it was delicious. I mean, honestly, it was so good.
Service is amazing.
So good.
Yeah, it's just really, really amazing.
Yeah.
My something good is The Ultimatum on Netflix.
Oh my God.
Which is essentially Love is Blind on crack.
So amazing.
Oh my God.
It's
so bad.
Yeah, it's Love is Blind turned up to 1,000.
We still haven't watched Love is Blind.
Oh my God.
Just jump into this. It's way fun. It's so fun and crazy.
I can't. It's the concept of it is crazier to me.
What is it?
It's so you and Tom have decided that you're not sure whether you want to get married. Diana, you really want to get married, but Tom's like, I'm not so sure. So you issued him an ultimatum. Either we get married or this relationship ends. And so now instead you go on the show, and now you're with 6 other couples who have all issued the same ultimatum. Within the first couple weeks, you all go on dates with each other. You break up and now you go on dates with each other.
And
then you pick one person of those other from those other couples that you're now going to live with for 3 weeks to see if you have a deeper connection with those people.
Yeah.
How? What?
And then when that's done, you go live with your original person for 3 additional weeks and see how that goes.
It's terribly because you just live with somebody else for 3 weeks. And then society is crumbling around us.
And then at the end of it, you decide: will you marry or will you split?
Do any of them get married?
Love?
All right, you don't.
Through.
I was like, you don't have to spoil it and tell me who, but at the end, do any of them still want to get married?
We actually have not got the finale dropped today.
Okay,
so because they put out 7 episodes, the finale was today, and we're episode 6.
So we'll binge.
We'll binge the last 3.
Gotcha.
But it's an insane I thought Love is Blind was insane, but I feel at least in Love is Blind, when they put them in those pods, they're actually having intimate conversations and really getting to know each
hours
other
and hours
for weeks. They're on these dates just talking to each other because they can't see each other. So all you're doing is talking about your lives. So they're actually like learning like real things about each other.
I can't with any of this. We'll have to watch
Whereas
it.
Weird,
this is like,
but this is just
off
takes
the
it
rails.
and like turns it up 5,000.
Unbelievable.
You will spend the entire time going, what is wrong with these people?
And then the best is the people who get most offended by things that happened are the people who issued the ultimatum.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Then they get indignant with their former partner. It's the like, why are you taking this so seriously and actually doing what I asked you to do? And you're like, well.
And this one girl that we thought was like the most unreasonable, like once you wade through like how much she talks, you're like, oh,
wait, she's actually
makes
saying
sense.
Yeah,
she actually makes sense as to like what she's doing here, and like I kind of understand her now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch that.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah,
you will spend the whole time like yelling at the TV.
Yeah,
like it is definitely a Diana yelling at the TV show.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, we'll have to check that out. Cool. Awesome. Lots of something good. Great race weekend. Hopefully we didn't get too complainy. Overall, I thought it was a great race weekend.
I loved it. Yeah.
I don't think I had really anything other than the weather to complain about.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's
humanity.
Yeah.
So
I loved the course, all 3 courses.
I loved them all.
I mean, I thought that everything was great. You never felt like you were like, even on the road stretches of the 10-miler, because it's only quote unquote a 10-miler. It like just
didn't feel bad.
Didn't feel bad.
Yeah,
and
you knew you were getting to the end. Yeah.
And even with the 10K, they had you run on the roads first and then go into the park.
Yeah.
So basically, it was like, I'll race you to the parks. And then once you were in there, you were in the parks the whole. I thought all the courses were great. I thought all the theming was fine, even though Race for the Taste should be a wine and dine theme. That's
Agreed.
not here nor there. But overall, I loved it. I loved all the medals when I saw them in person, even though I still have my top 10 list of why I don't like them. Yeah, great race weekend.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
I think a lot of positives. I think the best part for me and probably all of us was all of the people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that made us really happy.
Made us extremely happy.
So to wrap us up, in the immortal words of one Donald Duck, Donald reminds us that happiness is the richest thing we will ever own.
Aw, phooey.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.